Hello, Endwalkers. Demagen here. Welcome back. We are leaving the moon because our business here, for now, has concluded. With the Lopowitz and Urianger's capable hands, we needn't worry about affairs here in our absence. Knowing now the face of their earthly collaborators, there is much to discuss with Alphano and the others. Let's return to the Tower of Babel. Our battle for the star will soon begin in earnest, and we must be prepared. Gods, I can scarcely believe we went to the moon and back. But we'll have time to reflect on that later. Right now we need to head back to Camp Broken Glass and deliver a thoroughly detailed report to Lucia. I'd very much like to know how everyone is getting on here as well. They'd only just begun to treat the tempered prisoners when we left. I share your curiosity, but warning our allies of the final days is of greater importance. I speak not only of the contingent, of course. The heads of state of every nation must know what we've learned. We know not when or where or in what matter the final days will begin to manifest, and so we must see that everyone is prepared. Agreed, though we may wish to stress the importance of discretion lest the public be sent into a panic. Not that anyone in a position of responsibility should need to be told as much, but it bears repeating. Right. First things first, to Camp Broken Glass. Unless, of course, it is already too late and outside is on fire. In which case, yeah. We can fly in Garlemald, can't we? Yes. Yes, we can. Man, it's quite the distance. I suppose that's kind of the point, isn't it? I wonder what kind of response we're going to get here. Hi, guys. It's good to see you all again. No worse for your lunar adventure, I hope? We've done what we can for now, and believe me, we intend to tell you all about it. But before we do, might you tell us what's become of Garlemald in our absence? We succeeded in subduing the tempered inside the Tower of Babel. We took many alive, but combined with those who were already in our custody, the number requiring care has grown exponentially. The inclement conditions here have made it difficult, if not impossible, to treat them all here, and so we've petitioned the aid of the allied nations. Some are understandably hesitant to proffer assistance, particularly those that were but recently subject to imperial occupation. That said, several others have agreed to grant them refuge for treatment. With the assistance of your fellow scions, we endeavour to see them safely transported and subsequently cured of their tempering. Will all the tempered be relocated? Not at all, no. We have sufficient shelter to attend to those whose treatment has begun, and enough healers have volunteered to remain until their patients have recovered. Ullus is one such patient, though he is not yet fit to receive visitors. Truth be told, it was a miracle he and those in his company were not harmed in the chaos. If not for Alphano and Alizé's timely assistance, I dare say none of them would be with us today. Well done, kidlies. In light of recent developments, have the Alliance leaders come to any decisions regarding Garlemald? Given the tremendous ramifications of what has happened here, it will take time to determine what must be done. In the meantime, they intend to work with the Eastern Alliance to keep a close watch over the provinces. We have other news to share. Shortly after Anima was defeated, we received reports that each and every tower has vanished. For Mercy, the process was apparently not quite as violent as that you experienced in Thavnair. Those who were trapped within them have been rescued and are receiving treatment. To hasten this endeavour, the Beast Tribes have received instruction in the magics needed to cure tempering. Master Matoya is no doubt thrilled the Mother Porksea affords her so many visitors. Yes, we are grateful for her ongoing efforts, as well as those of our comrades near and far. As for the contingent, several of our members have been granted leave to return to their homelands after the transfer of Tempered has been completed. Odd. Lucia and I will remain, along with a small force, to continue offering aid to those here in Garlemald. The Empire may be no more, but there are yet those who call these lands home. Yes, so the Empire's done. Peace has been signed, essentially. I believe that accounts for recent events here. So, what of the moon and the Telothroi? Well, Zodiac dead, Telothroi defeated. Van Daniel's certainly dead. The final days. Gods, I prayed your victory would mark the end of our troubles. There is still much we do not know, but the Alliance leaders must be told. Would you be willing to contact them in our stead? No, do it yourself. Yes, of course. I'll send a word forthwith. We'll also release your fellow Scions from their present duties that they may return to Sharlayan. Your energies are better spent finding means to avert the coming apocalypse. Speaking of your fellow Scions, you'll be happy to hear that Mistress Kryle, though still on the mend, has been moved to the Baldessian Annex and given into Tadru's care. Thank you. I look forward to seeing them both upon our return. Let us be on our way then. One last thing, if I may. After your confrontation with Zodiac, you said Xenos took his leave and in all likelihood he has returned here to Garlemald. I have in mind to dispatch scouts to try and ascertain his whereabouts, but first wish to ask if you believe there is merit in doing so. If they found him, they would not likely live to tell the tale. I suppose you're right. To dispatch good soldiers in pursuit of such a beast would be to send them to their deaths. Pray forget I entertain the notion. While on the subject of Xenos, the 10th leaders made an official proclamation. They denounced the Crown Prince and condemned his role in the Empire's downfall. His very title has become a source of shame among his former subjects, and its continued use serves only to hinder relations with foreign nations. For this reason, he has been declared as Xenos Viator Galvus, outcast and enemy of Garlemald. That'll sit well with him. He won't care. Van Daniel is no more, and now his own people turn against him. It seems he's naught but his bloodlust to keep him company. Better that than an army to see it sated. At any rate, I will not keep you longer. I pray you safe passage back to Sharlayan. Indeed. So I guess now that we can... I mean, I assume the forums still aren't going to be able to talk about what they've been doing. Right, while we are here, the faculty. I'm going to keep on doing that. Baldessian Annex. Oh, the faculty was the Aliapo stuff, wasn't it? Kryle! Welcome back, Temujin. We were so terribly worried about you. It is plain I have caused my own fair share of worry, for that I apologise. Hydaelyn called to me that day when you entered the Tower of Babel. Her pleas were faint but desperate, and I knew once she required a vessel to carry out her will. What came after feels like a dream barely remembered, my body flowing through the life stream towards Garlemald. When I regained consciousness, I was all aches and frostbite, exhausted of ether. So exhausted, in fact, I could only laugh. It was in that moment I understood Raha's weariness from the Tower of Zot. Would that I could laugh at a time like this. Though we prevented Zodiac from being unleashed upon the world, I am curious to know what else took place there on the moon. Perhaps we should wait for the others to join us before you give your account. Let's reconvene in the main hall. Yes, let's. Sorry to have kept you all waiting. Not at all. We understood you've been quite busy. Will Uvianche be joining us? Nope, he's sat on the moon. Duty keeps him away, I'm afraid, though Deminger can explain why better than I. What, the person that does the least talking can do... I appreciate the effort to continue making us the main character. Thank you, Dad. The final days, as befell Amarots. And we are to escape via the moon. What of the source and its reflections? I have no intention of standing by while the world falls to ruin. So how do we stop this? Oh, balls. Unfortunately, we have no answers. If the celestial currents have grown stagnant, as was the case in the time of Amarot, the solution would be to alter the flow of ether throughout the entirety of the star. The ancients accomplished this by summoning Zodiac, sacrificing half the star's population in the doing, which should go without saying that such a sacrifice cannot be repeated. Which leaves us with the daunting task of identifying the underlying catalyst for the final days, a feat which even the Amoretines could not accomplish. Unfortunately, we found no clues in Mare Lamentorum. There is still much we do not know about the catastrophe itself, let alone what may have caused it. The final days were marked by the corruption of the Amoretines' creation magics, but we command no such power, which invites the question, what havoc is in store for us? If we knew that much, perhaps we could draw some parallel with the events of the past and thereby form some semblance of a plan. Perhaps we should start with the Forum then. Having worked with the Loporrits in secret all this time, there is surely more they can tell us. Forgive the interruption, but I've urgent news. The Forum is holding a public assembly in the plaza outside, some sort of announcement. Oh, what is Father up to now? Only one way to find out. Nod. Oh, I need to glamour off this chest bit. The constant nodding is hilarious, but it just clips so badly through things. Oh, we're going straight into cutscene. Ominous music.
Order, I say.
You say that a lot, Bonnie, eh?
I thank you all for gathering here on such short notice. This day we must speak of grave affairs and their implications for the future of Sharlayan, nay, of this very star. Said affairs concern all citizens. And so we have called.
So they're going to create a public panic.
You may have heard rumors of the Talofferoi and the havoc these madmen wreak abroad. Under normal circumstances, we would pay little heed to petty disturbances outside our borders. The final days, however, are another matter altogether. For we dare not ignore these prophetic words of Eld. The End-Bearers will come, ushering chaos and calamity. The final days descend and devour the very star.
I've never heard this prophecy.
Is it true? Will all that really happen?
No. Because we're going to stop
Calm
now.
yourselves. The time has come to speak of the Forum's most sacred duties. But first...
Give voice to the voiceless. Let bindings be unbound. By unanimous decree, I declare the enchantment broken.
That's the gas.
Master Leveilleur, if you would.
Very well. "270 years ago, our forebears began an expedition in the Dravanian hinterlands, in search of a route to access the ethereal sea.
They found it.
This much is public knowledge. Their findings, however, would become the Forum's most closely guarded secret. What those researchers discovered in the hinterlands was not a passage unto the ethereal sea, but the very heart of our star, and Hydaelyn herself. She spoke to them of a calamity that would extinguish all life, and of a means by which we might be spared. The moon. 'Tis in truth a gargantuan vessel built to serve as sanctuary for her children and deliver them from this doom. Much like Nunkref's hope in ages past, it will bear the people of a world in the throes of death to a new home.
Needless to say, this will be no small undertaking. To facilitate the great work, the Forum has maintained close contact with the servants of Hydaelyn, who presently reside on the moon.
Do these guys know that Hydaelyn's a primal?
Convinced that the foretold end was all but inevitable, we began amassing a wealth of knowledge, not merely for the betterment of our nation, but in preparation for the journey to come.
You reveal this to us now? By the gods, how long do we have?
They don't know.
While we cannot say with certainty, we believe the hour to be nigh. We received a transmission from the moon suggesting as much not long ago. Which is why we must in earnest begin preparations for the great exodus. For his impressive contributions and the leadership he demonstrated during our withdrawal from Dravania, we have elected Master Leveilleur to oversee...
Surprise! Why are you surprised at this?
Fellow scribes and scholars, my countrymen, we face a threat of unprecedented scale. We must challenge the trials before us with composure and conviction if we are to find salvation.
But that's not going to happen, isn't it? Because you just told everybody that the world is ending.
The wisdom of Sharlayan has ever been a shining beacon in the darkness, and so it shall continue to be. It is our solemn charge to see our heritage preserved for future generations. For those who will come after, we will brave a new frontier.
Administrative edicts will be relayed to all major institutions ere long. In the meantime, carry on with your duties. With that, I hereby call
I
this
suppose of
assembly to a
all the
close.
places in the world that might actually be able to wrap their head around this and make the change, Sharlayan will work. I still think there's more to it than this.
Do you remember what Mother told us when we visited home?
No, I've
That
forgotten.
it wasn't until after we were born that Father seemed to lose himself in his work. If that great work of his was the evacuation of this star, then...
Yes. It wasn't for his benefit.
No, it was for yours.
Would you mind waiting here a moment? I wish to speak with Father before we leave.
Keep it civil, eh?
Thank you. I shan't be long.
If it's all the same to you, I have a few choice words to share with Father as well.
So, come to call us cowards and bid us join your fruitless battle against the inevitable.
Probably not.
Nay. We do not object to the Forum's proposal. On the contrary, those who wish to flee have every right to do so. Urianger is cooperating with your associates on the moon to ensure that all is ready should evacuation be our only recourse.
Then whatever your business, I suggest you be brief.
Though we cannot boast the boundless wisdom of Sharlayan, we have first-hand knowledge of foreign cultures and have conversed with no small number of peoples. These experiences have taught us fundamental truths that cannot be recorded in any tome, nor charted on any map. The beating heart of this planet is its people, many of whom would give anything, even their lives, to protect the lands they love. Many may choose to join you in the end. But what of those unwilling or unable, for whom escape will never be an option? What would you have them do? To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, Father. It is indolence.
Who said that? Was that Louisaw?
This is why we choose to fight.
We'll not ask for your understanding, Father. Only that you don't turn a blind eye to the good we have done. That we can still do. We're not children in need of protection. Hold fast to your principles and let the world burn if it please. But we believe there is still another way. And if there is, we will find it. You see if we don't.
Do as you will. Just stay out of our way.
There's a crack there. Well, it didn't come to blows, so...
Were he not so consumed with self-righteousness, he might tell you how proud he is of you both.
Yep.
Bold words call for bold action. And there'll be no turning to your father should plans go awry.
Well, we don't have a plan yet, so...
As if I ever would. So long as there are those who wish to stay and fight for this star, we have to do what we can to help them.
Aye.
And if we're to do that, we'll need to be well rested.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you agree? And having triumphed over what we once thought to be the source of all evil, I can think of no one in greater need of at least a dozen winks.
Yes. Sleep good.
Shall we then? To the Annex, to prepare for tomorrow.
And shit will go down overnight. Carl tells me the Forum made a rather momentous announcement, so there's to be a great exodus, is there? I'm reminded of my narrow escape from the Isle of Val. The realisation, the running, the mixture of relief and regret after. Why me? I ask myself, why me? Why us? Why now? Why wonder? There's no use fretting over the cosmic morality or lack thereof. We're here, and we'll get through this together. And who knows? Maybe my luck will rub off and grant everyone a narrow escape. There's no harm in praying for as much. But enough of my rambling. I'm sure you're exhausted. Your chamber awaits. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, I guess so. This is the actual end of the act. Which makes sense. It's about time we had a look out the window. Yeah, there's something not right here. A visitor has come knocking at your door. Who could it be? Oh, it is Alizé. Or did we get to choose?
Craving a midnight snack, were you? I did consider bringing a few sweets, but decided this wasn't an appropriate occasion.
You should have anyway.
I couldn't sleep. Had a few things on my mind. I know it's late, so I'll try not to talk your ear off.
Those were a lot of options that we could have chosen from. Did they each have their...
It's Xenos. I keep thinking back to Garlemald when he'd taken control of your body. An altogether terrifying experience, to say the least. And one that served as a harsh reminder. No one, no matter how strong or quick or clever, is invincible. Not even you.
Not even me.
And as much as it might seem at times that you are, one misstep, one mistake, and that's that.
You're worried about us.
Which is why, even though I know you've heard it 1,000 times before, I'm going to tell you to take better care of yourself. Because you really, really should. It goes without saying that we're all committed to this fight. But that doesn't mean that we need to throw our lives away.
Didn't somebody predict a noble sacrifice for the Warrior of Light at the end of this story?
Sacrifices. Right, that's settled. We'll be keeping the acts of gratuitous bravado to a minimum.
I suspect you probably need to tell your brother that as well.
When I looked father in the eye and swore we'd find a way to avert this tragedy, it wasn't a promise just for him. It was a promise for you, too.
Oh, Ali. Yeah. Is it a Heidelin thing or is it something else? A short while earlier in the Alamegan quarter.
Thank the gods that tower is gone. The sight of it was enough to make me sick.
Thank the Ilsebar contingent, more like. Word is, they fought their way into Garlemald and toppled the bloody thing themselves. Not just the one, neither. All the towers have up and vanished.
It's true.
Aye, I heard the same. Commander Aldin and his troops helped keep casualties to a minimum, too. But is it true they brought back tempered Garlean soldiers?
As Commander Aldin tells it, they've a treatment for that now. But don't you worry. Cured or not, they've no plans to bring them into the city proper.
I see. Well, that's a relief then.
Yeah,
I know we've brothers and sisters among the lot, but I can't say I'm eager to welcome them home.
Wanted to think about it for a while yet. They're to be looked after in Alagana for the time being.
Who this? Meanwhile, in Ishgard. Just casually having a walk in the snow. Oh, hey. Hey, Sudoku.
Day, another commission of paramount importance. Well, what have we here?
Oh dear, people are starting to...
Hey,
Yeah, I like the little
you
hint,
alright?
glimpse of Sid that we had walking past.
was that? No. The shadows play tricks, nothing more.
What was that?
The towers are gone, and the Garlean threat is abated. Yet, why does it feel as though it's about to get much, much worse?
Lunar sickness. Can't see the moon. Ooh, color shift. Uh-oh. Returning home. Is there a category for MSQ related ones? We've got ominous mystery music going on here. Do we actually get to see these goggles? Okay. I'd quite like those if they didn't have the jaw thing to go with them, I think. But unfortunately, they have the jaw thing. So, let's save that. Right, I think that is almost certainly the proper end of the act. So we're going to leave that there. And we will start off this new step of the journey in the next episode. So we got some not quite reconciliation with Alfie and Ali's dad. We got a nice little heartfelt thing from Alizé. I wonder if that was the only thing that would actually have happened there, and if there was nothing, if we'd said anybody else, it would have still been Alizé. If it wasn't, if there was a conversation with basically anybody you choose, let me know down in the comments below. But now we've got that we've got so many cool mysteries. We've got the Elpis flower and how that's going to help in truth. We've got what is going on with these weird ethery shadows around people. We've got loads and loads of questions. I mean, one of the things that I'm really intrigued is we've been to 4 zones. Three zones. No, 4 zones, because I haven't done a single phase in Garlemald. But that means there are still 2 more zones that we haven't been to. Now, we know that Thavnir is going to be split into 2 halves. And we know that Labyrinthos has got the final tier. But that's still 2 more zones that we haven't been to. And I just don't know what they could be. Unless there's more on the moon. Or there's... I just don't know. I don't know what it could be. Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll find out at some point. But I'm assuming now that we're was this an 85 quest? Yeah, 85, the Skies Aflame. So I assume we're going back to Thavnir now for the second half of that zone. We'll be able to, freely move around stuff. I still haven't found the end game item vendors. They're not here. They weren't on the moon, and they weren't in Raz-Zatan, unless they're either instanced or in the zone that we haven't been to yet, and they're going to throw some surprises our way. Or maybe they're just not in the game. Maybe they'll be in the game in January when patch 0.01 releases. That would make more sense. I don't know. Guess we'll find out at some point in the future. Thank you very much for watching, folks. Hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please do leave a like. And remember to comment down below about the conversation options then. Was it just Alizé each time, or were there other people as well that could come and chat? I am interested. Happy endwalking, folks. Catch you on the next one. Bye. This is the Allegan music, isn't it? I've just thought. Yeah, this is the ominous Allegan music. Anyway, yes, bye. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.